You're listening to the Full-Time Function Musician Podcast, the #1 resource for growing your function musician business. If you're a solo wedding singer, part of a 12-piece luxury show band, or anything in between, and want to learn from other successful musicians, you're in the right place.
You're listening to the Full-Time Function Musicians Podcast, and on today's episode, I'm super excited to be joined by someone that I'm sure loads of you will know, Danny Bigland. Danny is a professional guitarist, experienced function musician and band leader, and probably what he's most known for is the founder of the musicians community DepsApp. Danny, welcome to the podcast, man.
Hey Jack, thanks for welcoming me on.
No, yeah, I'm super excited for this one. I know we were just talking a little bit before we started recording, but yeah, I don't know a ton about DepsApp, but I know loads of people use it, and I'm really excited to hear kind of the story of it, how it started, and like kind of how it helps people. But I'm also looking forward to hearing about your story as well, because you're obviously also a musician and with loads of experience. So yeah, I want to get into a bit of that as well. So yeah, let's start there. Tell us a little bit about kind of where you got started and got into this line of work.
Absolutely. So people don't really know me at all as a guitarist. It's more this community that I've grown. Let's go back to when I was growing up. So my dad has been in bands all his life. It's been in like a pub band called Big Legs. They're mostly playing artists like Status Quo, Joe Walsh, Deep Purple. And with that, I grew up using the mixing desk, helping them out with, rattling the longest snake coil and all that jazz. And then it's only in recent years that it's kind of taken off with my music business side of things. So business-wise, then the last, let's say, 3-4 years, I've kind of been not purely, because I actually still have a full-time job.
Oh, really?
I do engineering at JCB World Headquarters, even to this day, and while it's running my Speaker High business and my community.
Yeah.
So in terms of how I slot into the music industry, I did have a wedding band, and I got a bit fed up of like traveling the country as such, and was more interested in, with having a full-time job, was more interested in growing something local. Mm-hmm. So I had a load of speakers from the band. I thought, what could I do with these? So I created like a Speaker High rental company. Mm-hmm. Started off doing small birthdays, things like that. Slowly grew up through building a website with SEO that I found on YouTube, how to do that. Did it myself. And at the same time, this is like 3 or 4 years ago, I needed some depth for my band. So there's a couple of different avenues we can go down here. We can learn about the Speaker High business, or we can talk about my community.
Both, yeah.
So which one would you like
Let's
to
start with the speakers, and then we'll go on to DepsApp, yeah.
Sure. So I had my wedding band, had all these speakers. What can I do with them? Made a website. In fact, I was doing this is about COVID time, and I was doing a psychology degree because I was getting a bit bored. I had some time off work. And within this psychology degree, one of the parts was learning about the different levels of society and talking to people and how they grew their businesses and how they had to change and rearrange them into different things for what they offer to the public. So that gave me some ideas of what I could do, what the public demand is in different fields. One of which, in my local area, because I had speakers and lights, what else can you do other than rent them out and DJ with them? So I taught myself how to DJ in that time as well. And then it slowly grew. The more gigs you do, the more social proof you create, the more SEO that compounds with itself. And then if you put on your website more areas, at a certain distance where you're willing to travel, and build those website pages up, repeatedly mentioning the area and the thing that you provide.
Yeah.
It slowly grows. And then over time, we've got bigger and bigger projects, working with corporate events, working with 1 or 2 pop stars when they come into the area. Because we've got a good website and SEO that I've built it up, I've done it all myself just from learning on YouTube.
Yeah.
Then you become like the first people that come up in the local area.
Yeah.
So when people travel, some DJs, for example, they'll be traveling across the country. They'll go on Google for some speaker and lighting hire, and we'll be one of the first to come up in Derby and across the East Midlands where I'm based.
Mm-hmm.
And that takes some time to, you can pay someone to do it.
Yeah.
Or you can do it yourself and learn and see what works and what doesn't work. And then along the way, it grows to what it is now, which is now a limited company. Bear in mind, I started this, just after COVID, maybe about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And there's been enough work to, if ever it gets too much, I ask my brother or my dad to give me a hand.
Yeah.
Because my dad's been not as such in the industry, but he's like been a keen guitarist since he was at the age of 14, 15. So I've grown up with that. To this day, he's in an AC/DC tribute band.
Yeah.
Called DC Done Dirt Cheap.
Nice.
And I fill out on the guitar whenever the guitarist can't make a show. But for the last 20, 30 years, he's been in like a pub band called Big Legs. The drummer since passed away, and then they started a DC tribute. But so I guess that's where my journey started, going to pubs and helping them with the mixing console and unraveling the snake. And, from a young age of like perhaps 10 to 12 years old. And even like going around town, I'm like they'd have a fete and like they'd be always going around town with like a band on the back and everyone giving a wave and all that from a young age. And then it's just grown slowly. Like we were saying before the podcast, the best thing to do is trial different ways. Some of them, you'd be surprised what works and what doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
For example, it also depends on the business, what type of business it is and how you're looking to grow it, how far the reach is. If you're looking at a local business, before the internet and Google and everything, there was people used to do leaflets and flyers and knocking on the door.
Yeah.
It depends on the business and what you offer. If you're looking further afield, like something more national, like our community, you got Facebook. The power of metaverse is ridiculous,
Mm-hmm.
People with Facebook ads, Instagram ads, Google is the go-to. That's just what everyone goes to. If you want to go straight directly to somewhere that people will go to that's free, so like Facebook or Google. Google, something else I learned in my psychology degree is people are usually only ever they're doing it. They're not going to spend much time on it. They're going to go for the first 1, 2, or 3. Definitely, certainly on the first page. So that's something that's to consider. But then again, with Google Ads, you have to spend a bloody fortune to make that work.
Yeah,
and hopefully your business, generates enough income to help that recurring. With my different businesses, they're now limited companies, but I haven't. The most I've spent is about 100, 200 quid on trialing some Instagram ad stories.
Yeah.
About 2 or 3 months ago, just to trial it, just to test it. And also, it's just all going naturally through SEO.
Yeah.
And being like in the top rankings of Google. That's for the Speak High business.
Yeah.
The WhatsApp community that may bring people in to watch this specific podcast episode is the one that everyone probably wants to hear about. There's been 2 or 3 people on your podcast already that are already in it. There's people up and down the country, over 1,000 people in it. I won't talk specific numbers because it's all on via Patreon, and I know it's not that interesting, but
yeah.
In terms of the community itself, and what it's been able to help the public out with, and the growth and the people that are in the chats, it's blown my mind out of all proportions. It's unbelievable how it's grown just from one Facebook status to over 1,000 people, a couple more 1,000 people in my phone contacts, and people that perform on some of the biggest stages in the world, Glastonbury the last few years, and the musicians that play for them, I have a chat group solely for them.
Yeah. Wow.
So it started. So we can dive into the community if you like, or we can talk more about the Speak High business.
Yeah, I want to go back a little bit. I want to. I think SEO goes over a lot of people's heads, and I generally think people will know what it is with search engine optimization is coming up on Google, as you said. But you've obviously done a lot of research into it and figuring it out yourself. Like, do you have any just top tips that people can start with straight away when getting into that kind of thing?
I can only talk to how I did it, and that was to go on YouTube, watch some videos, learn how to do it yourself. It's very simple. Initially starting out, I just used the Wix design website and made it myself. Like fully DIY, both my sites have been. What you soon learn is that how Google and different search engines will pick up your websites. And that's predominantly not only through traffic, but keywords. You know, it was about 4 or 5 years ago when I made both my websites.
Yeah.
So it's difficult to give you solid advice on how to grow it. But all I can say is I did it on my own, learned by YouTube. And if you got a page that regularly mentions the location that you're directing to and the keywords that your business provides, then Google is going to pick it up and it's going to put it up the charts. And then the more people that visit your website, it puts it up further up the charts. That's the ideal point you want to get to, being one of the first links on Google, because that's where people go to. The only other way you can do that is by, paying for Google ads, which is great if you got enough business coming in, but stay the hell away from debt. You can grow your business without going into any debt. I have, and I think it's just a healthy way moving forward, not only for yourselves personally, got something else to think about. Everyone's got their own jobs, their own lives and things to pay anyway. Mm-hmm. They make it so easy to take it from you, Meta and Facebook and Google and things. They'll say, pay a few pounds more and you can reach so many thousands more. But in reality, there's other ways you can reach many thousands of people. For example, Facebook groups for free. Just people will see it there. And they're more inclined to probably purchase or do business with you, because if they're on a musician Facebook page, they're probably already a musician. Or if they're talking DJs and Speak High, for example, that's more this side of what we're talking about. If someone's got a birthday party or something coming up and they see that you're from the location. See, a lot of people across the country will be willing to travel several hours for the work. People will usually go for the band artists, or in my experience, people that are based in that location, which is something else I bring up when we talk about my community. Yeah. Because the initial thought is, I've seen people say this before, every now and again I'll see people talking about it online. People will say, I'm going to get some work if I'm joining a group of 100 to 200 musicians. But the reality is that community covers the entirety of the UK. And with the direct roles that we send out, they have to message me and then I'll forward them to the agent or the band leader. Yeah. And there's only over 3 or 4 people actually available on that date and within the area that can do it. So it's, and if there's 2 or 3 dates available that the band agent is looking to to get a musician for, they're going to choose one person that can do those 3 rather than 3 separate musicians. This exact example happened yesterday for a drummer. There was 3 dates offered, paying something like $750 all in. And I sent the roll out to 230 drummers we've got now. And only 2 of them could do all 3 dates. And then 2 or 3 more could do one of the dates. So it's, we can gone completely off topic now. It's all good. But it's, they all go into each other, my couple of different businesses that I have. Yeah. But I'm open to questions.
Yeah, I mean, let's get into the community a bit then. First of all, though, I want to know if you could just give a bit of a rundown on what it is, and then go into how you started it, why you started it. And yeah, we'll go from there.
Sure. So DepsApp was initially founded under the name WhatsApp. You might have heard, in fact, I've heard one of your guests previously mention WhatsApp by Danny.
Yeah.
It was WhatsApp for the first year because, truthfully, I got a solicitor's letter from Meta saying your business name's too close to our WhatsApp branding. And I thought, okay, I'm not going to go against, Meta.
Yeah, the giants.
So I thought, what do we provide? Debs. It's not an app, it's some WhatsApp, but the app name is still in there.
Yeah.
And it kind of says on the tin what we do. Apps are expensive to create and run. Whereas at the time when I founded it, it was just WhatsApp groups because I needed some for my band, some Debs for my band. And initially it's just started out with one WhatsApp group for musicians in my local area. And then more and more people were asking to join. So I made a WhatsApp group chat per instrument, saying guitar, bass, drums, keyboards. And then more and more people started messaging. So we added a sax group, a brass group, sound techs, DJs, pop bands, original bands. Before you know it, we've got like over 30 groups. And it's all word of mouth, bear in mind.
Yeah.
From some Facebook statuses I've put out. And before you know it, it gets to a point where, you got hundreds and hundreds of people in your messenger asking you questions or wanting to be added to it. And all along the way, I've got my full-time job and my speaker hire business. And it's getting a bit chaotic.
Yeah.
So there's only me doing this. So with these other things going on, and all these paid jobs being shared throughout the chats, I couldn't grow it or continue it any further on my own. And to assist with this, I kind of put a stop. So once each group reached 50 members, I said, from here on, you need to join our Patreon. They continued to join. I thought I would slow it down because it was kind of a bit too much. So funnily enough, like the first few months is me just trying to slay people joining, which is kind of an ideal situation, I guess. So with this Patreon, it wasn't just for me to earn something from it. It was to eventually help to be able to pay someone to help me with it.
Yeah.
Because I'd rather it be self-sustaining than me pay out of my pocket for these chat groups that I'm not earning anything from, but we're benefiting, helping a lot of people.
Yeah.
So the Patreon slowly grew. It was £4 plus whatever Patreon fee is. And then it got to enough where I was able to hire in like a VA, like a virtual assistant.
Yeah.
And then to be able to grow and to continue as people coming in messaging us for 2 people for the workload, it was getting to a point right. Well, I think I need to pay my mates some more. There's been tens of thousands of hours of work gone into this project that did not begin as an idea to create any income. It was just to help me find some Debs.
Yeah.
So the £4 Patreon, after a few months or so, was bumped up to £7. Hopefully to try and slow people joining. They continue to join. It was kind of annoying, but I had an assistant now. It sounds mental when you got these people, continuously coming to you, wanting to join and stuff. But with being an engineer for the last 15 years or so, I've had a steady income anyway. So it's not like I've not been at all at any of this point been like needed the income from it. I just trying to create an income source to fund the assistants to continue running the business.
Yeah.
And then for that was in June 2022. The group started. In September, the Patreon came in. Around a year or so into that, I think that's when we put up to 7. And the initial founding members, initially we said to everyone, it's cool, there wasn't even a mention of it being a join for free thing. It was like, can I join your WhatsApp group? Yes, here's a link. But when it got to the point of having to hire assistants to run it for me, there needed to be some income coming in to help source this. So the initial 50 in each group, we split all the musician groups into 2 separate groups. One of them being a chat group, a community to talk with all your musicians that play instruments issue, and the other one being a job group where only the admin can talk, and we'll send paid job leads into that group.
Yeah.
This helped enormously, not only with jobs being lost in the chat group, but ease of being for the musicians in the chats. They could go to a group where only job groups are being shared, job roles are being shared. And we said to the founding members, you can join at the lower price if you want to continue receiving these paid leads. 99% totally, we're here, we're supporting you. You've grown this community, it's amazing, you're helping loads of people out. You get the odd one or two that are like, you said it was free, blah, blah, blah. I explained to them very clearly. Initially, there was no mention of any pricing because I wasn't looking to generate any income from it. This only came in when I needed to hire virtual assistants.
Yeah.
But it's always going to be, you're always going to get.
Yeah, absolutely.
In any business, any line of work. Basically, everyone agreed, and they were like totally down for it, mate. It's cool. And look at it from a third person, not me running the community or not them looking for jobs, but anyone looking in, they'll be like, are these groups, we're creating job leads for people to apply to, or finding them, sourcing them, putting them into one place. People are going to be earning money from this.
Yeah.
So they should rightly, in fairness, they should be contributing to something to have access to these.
Yeah, I mean,
leads.
it's a valuable service you've created. So yeah, absolutely. I don't think there's any problem with having a fee on it. Like, how does it work with the jobs? Is it people in the community? For example, I can't make this job, so can someone else take it? Or do you have people from outside of it, agencies, managers, things like that, coming to you to put the jobs adverts in there, or a bit of both, maybe? The
latter, or the both. Yeah, so it sort of works like an agency where I basically put myself out there to the public and said to the entirety of the UK, if anybody needs a musician for their band to stand in, or for your private event or anything, if anyone needs a musician that plays any instrument, send me a text or WhatsApp. The number's available on the website. And we will send it to a group chat of 100 or more musicians that play that instrument.
Yeah.
With your contact detail. They can apply directly for the role. So we don't take any commission. Whether they're earning £500, £1,000, £10,000, we don't take any of that. All they have to do is join our Patreon. And all those numbers I just said have happened multiple times.
Yeah.
People have earned a lot, which is the way it should be. Usually people will take a commission, 10%, 20%. When I was sort of founding this and looking into it, I spoke to a lot of musicians and figuring out what they do like, what they don't like about different agencies. Obviously, the biggest part is commission and fees. If they're taking 20% and they're only earning 300 quid or so, then they've got taxes and fuel and everything else to pay on top of that. Sometimes they get to a point where they're like not earning enough that they deserve. And then other agencies will charge for like tokens to apply for jobs, like Add to Event or Bark. And I've been on all these different agencies with my band, and I know as well, because I'm a musician, what I like and what I don't like. So the idea I could have taken commission from many of these roles, but I just said to everyone, just join the Patreon, and whatever you earn, you can keep.
Yeah.
And that's made it a phenomenal success, because if another example, somebody joined earlier in the year, they paid like whatever point it was then for the Patreon. That a couple of weeks later, they earned, it was like 250 quid for a pianist job in London. Fast forward a couple of months, Steve Steinman, who does like Vampire Rocks and anything for all these great big theatre shows travelling up and down across the country. I don't know where he found my number, but he texted me one morning, the Friday before the Monday when the rehearsal started, saying our pianist has had to bail out of this full UK tour. So he comes to me asking me, do I know any pianists? I don't know where I got my number. This happens regularly. People send me a text being like, I need a musician for this one-off gig or a full tour. And that person that joined up for like the Patreon fee, not only did within the first couple of weeks did they get a job in London, they then got a theatre tour up and down the country, earning a few £1,000s. And we didn't take any of that commission. They just got to keep all of that, and all it cost them was the entry to the Patreon. So in answer to your question, roles come from a variety of places. They come from, if any of our musicians require a dep for their band, or if any of their friends here, they need a dep, they'll just send it to us or my team via WhatsApp. We'll forward it to the chat group, and they can apply themselves. So we don't decide who gets any of the roles. Yeah, it's entirely on the agent to decide who's right for their role. And it's just grown from there, man. It's freaking crazy how big it's grown. I've got so many stories.
Yeah, I'd love to go into some. Do you have any idea like how many jobs are coming in each day or week or anything like that?
Yeah. So back at the start, I thought, looking into these agencies, I always thought to myself, where the hell do all these jobs even come from in the first place? And how do we know they're real? Because you apply to so many and you're like, why am I not getting any of these roles on those standard agency websites? And you're paying for like tokens to apply for them. So you think, are these roles real because I'm paying for tokens and all that? Yeah. So what I did was the assistants that's helping running these chat groups, initially I posted these dep chats and things, Facebook groups online, because as you were saying earlier, they have thousands of people in. Yeah. I thought to myself, there's like thousands of paid roles being paid each year to these groups, and they get hidden between the vastest of Facebook ads and people posting daft stuff. Like, what do you think to my video? Anything. The majority of most social media now is adverts and things. And between those is gems of paid work. So me, my spare time, and my assistants, that now do it full time, 2 of them, go through every single one of these groups, Monday to Friday. They pick all the gold bits, all the jobs. We'll write them into a format, location, pay, any relevant information. We'll send it to the chat group of 100 pianists or 200 drummers. If it works for them, they can apply directly for it. We don't take commission, they just apply for it. And then other ways the jobs come in is, so we talked about the deps, musicians to share roles themselves. We talked about sourcing them from online. They also come in from our website. There's a WhatsApp number on there, where anyone in the public can message us if they need a dep. And we'll send it out to the group, and then they'll apply. And 99 times out of 100, even if the show's within an hour or 2 of happening, we've got someone in that area of the country that can get there and play the whole gig and save the gig. Every single job that we have successfully helped our musicians get has been screenshotted and saved to our Instagram. There's over 1,500 there so far, and majority pay over 200. Some 300, some 500. Some people have earned 1,000, some people have earned 10,000.
Yeah.
One person has earned £10,000. And by those maths, we can calculate, because I'm a bit of a nerd, I'm an engineer, that 1,500 jobs at 180 quid would equal £250,000, £250,000 we've helped our musicians secure over 3 years by forwarding jobs to them.
And that's like conservative number, right?
Yeah, that's minimal. And we haven't taken any commission on any of that. So when you think about, in fact, if people were to go through the success stories that are all there, and you can see the majority, quite a lot of them will say, "Hey Danny" or "Hey team." So some people think that the majority are online, but whereas if you look at you can go through every single one of them and see that it's normally "Hey Danny" or "Caroline" or "Sonia" or "Hey team" or "Can anyone in the chat help?" So there's a heck of a lot of roles being shared within the chats, or people come directly to us. Also, so we've helped the public not only with a couple of hours to spare towards shows, sourcing musicians for them, and we don't charge to help you find a musician. We'll just forward it to a chat of a few hundred musicians, and they can apply themselves. That's just something else I could have done. There's been various things along this process where I could earn a lot more from it. I can charge people. I can charge a finder's fee on any of these roles. Yeah. Because any role that's not been sourced from Facebook, your standard agent out there would, and rightfully so, to be fair, ask for a 10-20% commission, especially when it's paying, over £1,000. I've done okay from a Patreon. I'm a full-time job. I'm a speaker hire. So the idea of creating an invoice to get 20 quid from a time per gig is, I'm doing okay elsewhere. So this is the director of a company speaking, right? I would rather musicians keep their money and just join our Patreon. Not only does it work out better for them, it's, financially they got fuel and everything. I have a lot of time for musicians. All my best friends are musicians, and we've helped many of them out. I would rather them keep, their share and just join our Patreon, which secures the future of our community. Yeah. As long as people are staying in our community, Patreon, then our community can continue. And that's got us to a limited company over 3 years, earning our musicians over £250,000. And there's a lot of good karma that comes with that, because if someone joins up, for whatever it costs at the time, and four successfully gigs later, I think people just like the freedom of being able to apply and not, they can get paid however they like with the agent. We don't take any of we don't take the money from the agent and then take our pick out and then give it to the musician. The agent gives the musician the payment, and that's it. We've not got to do any chasing. We can just continue with whatever that we're doing. Finding the jobs, growing the community. Musician contacts them directly. Agent decides which musician is right for them. Agent pays musician. Done and dusted. We can crack on. They can crack on. There's no. And if you think about it, sharing over 10,000 roles, that would have taken a lot of time as well. So it's deciding what works best at the time, what works best for our musicians, for the future of our community, and growing it from there.
Yeah. This episode is brought to you by Acoustic Backs and Tracks, your go-to source for premium acoustic back and tracks that sound and feel like the real deal. Whether you're performing at weddings, recording content, or just practicing at home, it's like having a professional band right there with you. Their tracks are recorded by top session musicians with real instruments and real emotion. No lifeless MIDI here. Need something custom? They've got you covered. From key changes to mashups mashups, exclusive tracks made just for you. Plus, their customer support is fast, friendly, and actually understands musicians. No task is too big for them. And here's the best part. Listeners of the Full-Time Function Musician podcast get 10% off their first order. Just head to acousticbacksandtracks.com and use the code FUNCTION10 at checkout. That's function, all in capitals and 10 at the end, but you can find their website link and a code in the episode description. I mean, how do you, I know that you've got like virtual assistants and help running and things now, but it must be a lot of work. You might still getting messages all the time and emails, and also running your other business and also doing your full-time job. Like, how do you manage all of that without going insane?
With great ease. It's very simple. Very simple. It's anything that you're going to message someone more than once, you can create shortcuts. Anything to do with the DJ or speaker hire company, a lead will come in, copy and paste the message, talk to them as a human, put their name in there and add a touch of, I can help you with this project, I'm this far away, make it personal, but also a good proportion of that message can be, automated. And it takes less than a minute of your day to copy and paste an email to them, add some personal parts, use their name, make it personal, but also keep it business-wise. And that's a minute every day, done, dusted. The more leads that you have access to, the more potential you've got. It sounds really basic, but it's so true. Mm. Here's an example. I have a friend that used to work in a phone shop, and I think it was between 3 to 5% of people that come in that day, they have to sell something to them. It's all about numbers. The more numbers, the more access to jobs, the more access to customers, the more leads that come in, the more that you can apply for, the more chance of work you're getting. That's in any business setting ever. It's so simple, but you kind of have to remind people of this. So the more jobs you apply to, the more revenue leads, the more leads that come in, the more people you get back to. The quicker you can get back to them is the point that we're on. The more chance of work you got coming in, and the easier it is for you to continue on with your day. Send the quote out. You don't need to worry about it. Just job done. Everything that you need to do more than once, automate it or have a pre-written email statement, move from there. It's amazing what you can do in a short space of time when you got things automated or ready to go.
Yeah.
And I've grown a community that's, known across the UK, and also running my speaker hire business and my full-time job. And I still just go home each night, have my dinner with my partner, live a normal life. Like you wouldn't know that I do all this stuff. It's very chill. And the guys in the chats make me laugh all day long, man.
I assume you've no plans to leave your full-time job. That's not in your future. You don't want to go full-time playing gigs and speaker hire and stuff?
I could have done that a few years ago. But I've got financial goals that I would like to reach. I'm not in so much of a reach to reach them that I'm going to launch up the Patreon prices or charge commission on things, because my long-term focus is slowly growing a community. Anything in life worth doing, it's worth doing slowly and properly. Anything quick, it usually doesn't stick around for long. An example used previously could be, like a nice slow cooked meal across the day rather than a microwave meal. You take your time with something, it's going to be, people are going to take notice and it's going to be worth your while. And the dividends that come in from success stories has helped all of my business, or two businesses, grow without ads, purely word of mouth, good karma. And I can humbly say it's been an honor to get to know all these people. And the communities are such a laugh. Like most days I'm just sat there laughing to myself, because if you get like a load of musicians in a group and there's a lot of banter, healthy banter. And if there isn't, we have a conversation privately, but it's going to happen with humans.
I think, there's an important thing you said there, which is the karma thing. And like, whether you believe in karma or don't believe in karma, like giving to the communities that you're in and giving out to people that you work with and things like that will lead to good things coming back to you. And everyone should sort of carry that with them, I think.
Well said, brother.
So let's hear some of the success stories from DepsApp then.
Okay. Off the top of my head, you had the pianist. There's been a lot. There's been like 1,500 of them in the past 3 years. We share our basic principle is we share any musician job that pays. Some of the top ones off the top of my head. There was a pianist role wanted for a Bentley advert. So we sent that out to our chats. And someone got that, and it was paying something like $9,500 and all the flights included. It was in some nice part of the world. So they got all that. Another one is, roles regularly come in and we'll send it out and screenshot it. So I used to do regular, like bi-monthly updates of success stories, and it got to a point where there was a bit too many, and I just said, I'm going to put them all on Instagram stories now. Another one would be, this has happened very recently as well. There's a singing agent called Christopher D. He's like well known in the industry for singing lots of movie tracks and things. So he texted me out of the blue, wanting some singers to perform at the Barbican in London for like this Korean pop band. So we had some go there and earn well from it, and they got to perform at the Barbican, which is like a stunning venue in London. Many gigs for tribute bands, and if they've done well with a gig on that, every single job that we've sent out has got dividends. If they do well in the job, they're either going to be asked to regularly play for that gig or be in the band,
Yeah.
And we don't take any of that commission on anything they earn in the future. It's just...
And you probably don't even know that a lot of that information as well. So, I mean, that conservative $250,000 could be like a lot more than that.
Absolutely. Yeah. If people have done a good job, they're going to be welcomed back. All we ask is that they join the Patreon, which continues the virtual assistants that run the charts for sorts of jobs, whilst I do my engineering job and speak eye business. And as long as it maintains the charts, they can continue going and we can continue helping people, the public. Other success stories, there's been too many to even think about, So we had the pianist role earlier that did a whole UK tour. We had the Bentley advert. We had someone that did the Barbican. Many weddings and theatre shows and pub gigs up and down the country. That's just some of them I can mention. But every single one of them, near enough, has been added to our Instagram stories. So it's sort of like a back up your bullshit type thing. Social proof is so important across any business, It's, say, for example, if it's a wedding band, wedding clients are going to want to see, quality promo, Q Jack, record some good videos. And, if people can see that we are generating these leads consistently over 3 years, and they can see that they can just join the WhatsApp group and see that there's 200 musicians in there and say to themselves, are there regular jobs being shared to Facebook? Yes. Would there be 200 musicians in this group chat if it was shit over 3 years later? No. Is there 1,500 success stories screenshotted? Yes. When joining up, you're going to be sent the latest 30 roles anyway, so there's might be something you can apply for. and you get some discounts for guitar strings and like IEM earphones, and it speaks for itself, and it's all big grown, just word of mouth.
Yeah.
And that says a lot, because I could have, spent on ads at the start and tried to blow it out to every single person that sees it to try and join it. I didn't want to do that. It initially got annoying. There was so many people trying to message me. I couldn't bear the thought of having a few other 1,000 people trying to message me just trying to join it. So ads have never been on my mind. It's just been a very slow process of people continually joining, appreciating that, and then telling their friends. And I think that speaks a lot to what it's become.
Yeah.
And the amount of people that have joined it and the talent that are within the chats. A lot of the people in the industry, or not specifically in the industry, they might just play an instrument. They'll say, oh yeah, I've been playing 30 years, but my mate who's been playing 3 years can play a lot better than them, so you never quite know. But the majority of people that join us, in fact everyone, we ask to see website or social media to see that they can play their instrument. And then it's up to them to create their own show reel or apply to a role that way. And it's on the agent to decide which of these 4 or 5 people that apply for the role is right for them.
Yeah.
So very little is decided by us. It's all entirely based on the musician, if their promo is good, how they act on social media, their professionalism, how they conduct themselves, how they write to them in the first place. If you send them a message saying, I'm free for this gig.
Yeah.
And you're going against someone that's saying, hello, using their name. Hey, Pierre, well, I've seen your post for this ad on DepsApp. I'd love to apply. Here's a list of my credentials, website, social media. Here is how you can contact me. I'm super keen, not clean, although that would help.
I'm also clean.
I'm clean. People are much, they're going to, that's also important actually,
Yeah.
Dress the part, and, tidy yourself up, and on social media as well, portray that you're someone that they can trust and trust their clients too, because you're being hired in as a hired gun. So all that said, if you're sending one line saying I'm free, or if you're sending a cover letter with some detailed links and how they can contact you and here's similar previous work, they're going to kick the single sentence application out. They're going to kick their ass every single time.
Yeah. So is there a limit to how many people you can take on? And have you ever said no to anyone joining? Yeah, so the WhatsApp community, the WhatsApp groups used to be something like 250 members max. And then year before last, they got bumped up. This is WhatsApp rules, not our rules. Yeah. They got bumped up to like just over 500. Per group? So there can only be... Per group. So there can only be... I won't do the numbers on 35 groups, but there can only be, around 500 people per group. Some of them are already half full. This is all word of mouth, no adverts. Some of them are... Something fun we like to do along this whole way is when we reach a milestone, like 100 people in a chat, I'll hire like a celebrity musician and to do us a video, and I'll do like £100 giveaway or something just to say thanks. So we've had some well-known musicians in the industry do that for us, which people can see on our socials. Yeah. Steve Vide said something really lovely about us. He gives a whole video talking about how he really likes the idea. He said it's something he's going to remember. He says it's absolutely great what we're doing for connecting the dots. This is Steve Vai's like world-renowned guitarist, celebrating us reaching 100 guitarists. A lot of this has never been done before, so a lot of it has been trial and error and how to grow it, which we can talk about the group chat with the more experienced people and that play with the pop stars. We can talk about that.
But yeah, it's crazy to even, this whole conversation with you is crazy. It's absolutely crazy to me because I grew up in a very small town with a very small network, and it's now become one of the biggest networks in the whole country, which people have heard about via word of mouth rather than being blasted with ads. Me and my partner went to see S Club 7. I admitted to that just now, world, for her birthday. And there was a chap sat in front of us in one of the group chats talking to the bassists. This is going to see S Club 7, right? There's been other instances where I've been across the Midlands. I'll pull up delivering some speakers. A lot of my customers are people wanting speakers for music throughout the day, before and after the band. And then I'll talk to the musicians in the bands, and sometimes those guys are already in the chats. So there's been a lot of occasions where I just meet general members of the public that are in the chats, which is pretty crazy, right? And it's got me to have free access to many gigs and shows the past few years. Get a lot of invites to things.
Yeah.
Got to play the football with the Darkness earlier this year. Got invited to a film premiere. What else have we done? We go to loads of shows. We get put on guest lists and things, but we don't want that lifestyle. We're just happy being at home.
Yeah.
My partner loves knitting, and at the end of working week, I'm more than happy just to sit at home, probably doing quotes, but just reading books, just chilling. We don't want that life. We could live a lifestyle of complete freedom where we go and travel the world because we have a successful Patreon. It's basically like having, I don't know, like an OnlyFans or something, where you see them traveling the world and stuff.
Yeah.
It's the only way to kind of explain it. We could do that, but we have goals. We're very conservative. We both have jobs we enjoy. I've been in, actually the same workplace, but different jobs for the last 15 years or so. I love people who I work with. So all these extra things we do, it's not about the earning side. I think once you reach your 30s, like we're both in our mid 30s, me and my partner, it's more of once you get comfortable in a job like I basically am after so many years, it becomes more about purpose rather than finding things to do with your time that kind of not only keep your mind occupied, but help the public live their lives better as well, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Like, part of, into my, I'm speaking from my personal experience, moving into my 30s, I was kind of looking forward for things to help the public, just enjoy their lives a bit more. So I provide speakers and lights for people to play music from their phones, or I'll DJ for them. Or, with the free, assisting the public with musicians. We've helped many bands out there in despair with hours to go looking for a musician. I'm in a position where I can forward it to a few hundred musicians that play their instrument, or I could be a bit of a, I don't know if you like, I don't want to swear on your podcast. I could be a diva and be like, I don't want to be a dick and say, give me some money and I'll sort you out a musician.
Yeah.
Where I can just send it to a few hundred musicians and then they can apply and you can figure out amongst yourselves. So a lot of where I am at the minute is just purpose-based rather than income-based. And that serves me, like we were saying earlier. Not only it brings happiness and peace to myself and my partner, but also good karma to the musicians and bands out there in need of work, and also, in their requirement for musicians in if someone needs a musician for a band, it's a stressful time for people. So if we can send it to us and we'll send it out to, lots of musicians and they can just apply, we're saving them so much stress and relief. And that's probably the reason why it's grown to the level it has been. It is, because people appreciate the service.
Yeah. It's a great thing you've built, man. I think you should be really proud of it. You have obviously helped hundreds and hundreds of people, and I think it's done so well because it's genuine, and like that just breeds other good karma and stuff, doesn't it? I think, it's a great thing you've done.
Yeah, man. People appreciate it. It's so fun being in these chats. Just people, you can see the different levels of the humor between different instrument players.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. Drummers' humor is different to saxophonist humor, for example. I'll let the public think about that.
Yeah.
But it's super interesting getting to know so many people in different walks of life and helping them. That wasn't any diss at all to drummers, by the way. My best mates are drummers.
We all know what they're like, though.
I love drummers. They're brilliant. I don't want to swear. It's I'm a very straight talking person normally, and I quite openly swear to my friends and things. But with public podcasts and things like this, I try to retrain a little bit, just because it's just a polite thing to do.
So, I mean, that's started to wrap up a little bit now. So is there anything that you wish I'd asked you, or anything that you want to let the audience know?
Sure. First things first, if anyone ever needs a musician, just send us a WhatsApp. The number's on our website, which is DepsApp.com, DepsApp.com, and we'll send it out to a musician, and you can figure out between yourselves who's right for the role. Secondly, we didn't talk about the elite group as such. This is another story I can tell you.
Yeah, go for it.
We went from my brother's stag do earlier this year, Truck Fest, and there's members of quite a few of the acts, Kasabian and Scouting for Girls and stuff, and they're in some of the members are in our chats. Mm-hmm. So that's how far reaching we are. I can go to S Club 7 show, I can go to festivals across the country, and there's people in the chats.
What does it take to become into the elite chat group?
It sounds so crazy just talking like a cheesy the elite show, but basically it's initially it was if you perform to like over 10,000 people or so, but then sometimes you get people that do that, so, and there's only so many people that in the groups. I mean, it's so bizarre that in this one chat group, you got people that work for everyone from Iron Maiden to Sophie Ellis Baxter to Kasabian, and most pop stars you can think of, their musicians are in that chat. Everyone from Ed Sheeran's band to Dua Lipa, Rod Stewart, every pop star you can think of, someone that's played for them or currently is playing for them is in that chat.
Yeah.
Everyone else in the public that are in tribute bands, 4 people that are actually in that bands are in this chat, that are in the tribute bands, that are in the other chats. And then some of them from the top chat are dotted out between the regular chats. So you'd be very surprised who's in the chats. People from like rock bands, like I say, everyone from like Pendulum to Rick Astley, a pianist. He was joining like last week. The guitarist is already in there. I try not to say any of their names, but I can say the artist names. Yeah. But there's like about 60, 70. Also, something else, we know all these numbers from the job roles because in WhatsApp groups you can search for terms like new job. Every single job we sent out, it always has new job alert on it. Mm-hmm. So if I go into a group chat and search new job alert, it'll show like 1,200 jobs. So that's how many jobs we know we've shared. Mm-hmm. Just trying to think of anything else people might want to know. basically, it's a Patreon. You join up, have access to a lot of musicians that play the same instruments as you. And the next tier up, you get access to job leads that you can apply for. And you get some discounts for strings and IEMs and things like that. It's just a fun community to be part of. And it's very wholesome. People are always cracking jokes, sending memes, and we keep it fun. We keep doing free giveaways. We've given over £1,000 away just in strings or drumsticks or what have you. A best pun competition about one of the tribute bands. We'll send them some sticks, We're going to be at the drum show. This might not go out by then, but it's the Liverpool drum show coming up next weekend, and we're going to be walking around giving away free drumsticks and coffee to people in our chats. We did the same earlier in the year for the guitar show, gave a load of free guitar strings and coffee to people in our chats. So there's only 2 shows this year. Next year, we're looking to visit loads of shows up and down the country, just giving away free stuff to people in our chats and just keeping it wholesome and happy and helpful to the community as a whole.
Yeah, beautiful, man. I feel like that's a good place to end. So lastly, if people want to find you online or find out how to join, where do you want to send them?
Yeah, so if you want to read more information, visit DepsApp.com. If you want to see any of the success stories that are on my Instagram, type my name in, Danny Bigland, or it's on the DepsApp Instagram, or they're all there. On any of our socials or the website, there's a link to the Patreon. As soon as you join up to that, one of my assistants or myself will email you for your number. We'll add you into the chat, send you the latest roles, and off you fly. Job role works for you, winner. You keep all whatever you earn. Leave whenever you want. We don't mind. We're not in it for the income. We're just purpose-driven, helping the community out, and very wholesome, very happy. Lovely community to be a part of, and it's been an absolute honor to get to know everyone.
Yeah,
and it's super fun, dude. It's really good banter and really cool place to be.
Perfect, man. This has been really fun. As I said, I think you built an amazing thing, and should be really proud of it. And I think hopefully you'll get a few more people joining up from this as well.
Thanks, Jack. Absolute pleasure.
So there we go. I really hope you enjoyed that episode. And I just wanted to say a massive thank you to Danny for coming on and chatting to me. I really think it's something amazing that he's built there. So definitely go and check it out if that's something you're interested in. You'll find all his links in the episode description. Anyway, that's it for this one. Take it easy, and I'll catch you next week for episode 11.